Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. O Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite bhavatveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva sutam devam kansachanura mardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Rajavidya, Rajaguhya Yoga, the 9th Adhyay, and we are today going to read the 20th Shloka of this wonderful treatise that Sri Krishna is elaborating to us. Sri Krishna is opening up his entire nature. What is Krishna? What is the ultimate Lord? And throughout these 19th verses that we have read so far, he has given sufficient exposure of himself. He has exposed himself completely in the true fashion of Rajavidya, the sovereign science, and the Rajaguhya, the topmost secret of Sri Krishna's identity, is Sri Krishna's nature, the qualities of the ultimate Lord. He has just revealed to us without keeping anything under his sleeves. So, we by far theoretically now we know what is Krishna. And like in the 19th Shloka that we read last, Sri Krishna has ultimately told that I am ultimately the giver of these seasons, these climatic changes that have happened. You see the heat and the rains. I am responsible for everything. Also, I am in that immortality and in the death. And ultimately, I am also the ultimate reality, and also I am the āsādya. So Sri Krishna in the 19th Shloka told us, Tapamyaham aham varsham nigrunham utsrujami cha amrutam chaiva mrityuscha sat asat chaham Arjuna. O Arjuna, although Sri Krishna is referring to Arjuna, this advice, this teaching is for the entire mankind. That I am the giver of heat. I am the withholder and the giver of the rain. I am also amritam and death, mrityuhu. I am the amritam chaiva mrityuscha. I am the immortality as well as I am the death. And I am the sat, I am the asat. I am the ultimate reality. I am the ultimate being. And also I am the non-beings. I am also all that which is not real. The real is only Satchidananda. The real is only the ultimate Lord. Sri Krishna says, I am that. And I am also whatever other things that we see, the temporarily existing things. That is a sat. I am in that also. So there is nothing in this creation which is without me. Try to understand this nature of mine, Sri Krishna says. And now in this 20th Shloka that we are going to read, Sri Krishna is going to tell us about the seekers of the enjoyments. Now, on this path of spirituality, people take up this path of spirituality with so many objectives in mind. The gatihi that Sri Krishna told us in the 18th Shloka, Sri Krishna says, I am that ultimate objective. But what happens during the process of our journey? Sometimes our objectives get changed. Instead of seeking the total enlightenment, instead of seeking the oneness with the Lord, instead of seeking the nirvana, the ultimate liberation and enlightenment, then the seekers start seeking the heavenly pleasures. They don't want the pleasures of this earth, fine, because the pleasures of this earth are not lasting enough. So the followers of this path, suddenly they change their track, seeking some heavenly pleasures. Let me enjoy the pleasures for thousands and millions of years. And Sri Krishna says, what happens of such people who start worshipping Krishna with the objective of enjoying all those heavenly pleasures? So this is what Sri Krishna is telling us in the 20th Shloka onwards about the way of enjoyment seekers who worship the Lord. Trai-vidyā mam soma-pāḥ pūta-pāpā yajñair iṣhṭvā svar-gatiṁ prārthayante te puṇyam āsādya surendra-lokam aśhnanti divyān divi deva-bhogān. Now Sri Krishna tells about all those people who get engaged into the activity with the objective of enjoying celestial pleasures. Trai-vidyā. Trai-vidyā is the knowers of the three Vedas. Those who study the Vedas, the ultimate knowledge, the knowledge seekers for that matter, the scriptural knowledge in the form of the three Vedas, those who start studying it. And trai-vidyā mam. Mam is in me. They who worship me in the form of studying three Vedas. And soma-pāḥ, soma-pāḥ, the drinkers of that celestial, that wonderful drink called as soma, the drinkers of soma. And pūta-pāpā, those who have purified themselves from all the earthly sins by worshipping me, by studying the Vedas, by drinking that nectar like soma. Yajñair iṣhṭvā svar-gatiṁ prārthayante. Yajñair iṣhṭvā, those who worship by performing sacrificial acts, by performing yajñas, by performing the sacrificial acts as per the scriptural injunctions. Svar-gatiṁ prārthayante, with the objective of what is the prayer for performing all this sacrificial act? Svar-gatiṁ, they seek the heavenly abode. So these are the types of spiritual aspirants, Sri Krishna says. Those studying Vedas, those who enjoy drinking the celestial soma, those who have purified themselves of all the sins, pūta-pāpā. Yajñair iṣhṭvā, those who start performing various sacrifices, various sacrificial acts with the objective of prārthayante. Prārthayante what? Svar-gatiṁ, the ultimate, not the ultimate but intermediate goal of reaching the heaven, reaching the celestial heaven, celestial abode, svar-gatiṁ. Te puṇyam āsādya surendra-lokam. Te, those people, these worshippers, these performers of sacrifices, these students of the three Vedas, these learners of the three Vedas, and these the aspirants who keep on drinking the somaras to attain that svar-gatiṁ. Te puṇyam āsādya surendra-lokam. They, having reached the holy land of the gods, celestial gods, surendra-lokam, the world of the Lord of gods, having reached puṇyam āsādya surendra-lokam, aśhnanti divyān divi deva-bhogān. Aśhnanti is they enjoy. Having reached those celestial heavens, having reached that abode of surendra-lokam, the plane, the loka of Surendra, of the Lord of Gods, having reached that heavenly abode, that celestial plane, they start enjoying aśhnanti. Divyān divi deva-bhogān. They start enjoying that divyān, the divine heaven, and the deva-bhogān. They start enjoying the divine pleasures. So this is what happens for those seekers of enjoying the celestial pleasures. Those who seek the enjoyment, heavenly enjoyment. So they perform all these kind of acts. They start studying Vedas. They become Pandit in understanding what is written there in the scriptures, the three Vedas, the Rigveda, the Yajurveda, the Samaveda. And they who enjoy drinking the soma. It is said that the soma, it gives us that ultimate knowledge. And pūta-pāpā, having got rid of themselves of all the sins, of all the evils which they might have committed birth after birth after birth in this cycle of birth and death. Now they want some respite from this immediate cycle of birth and death, and they want to get away with this short lifespan. They want the celestial pleasures. Let me go and enjoy the heavenly enjoyments. With that objective, these traders of this path, they start doing all these acts. And yajñair, they also start performing sacrificial acts. Not, I mean, exactly the sacrifice as the ritual, but even giving up. They start getting into this practice of giving up the self, which is the biggest sacrifice. Giving up the riches, that is again the sacrifice. So, those who get into this act of sacrifice, all these kind of knowers of the truth, performers of sacrifices, all those who have got themselves purified from all the sins, they get into this celestial plane which is ruled by the Lord of the gods, and they start enjoying these heavenly pleasures. So Sri Krishna says that is possible. These devotees, these worshippers, through different paths, whether it is knowledge, whether it is through drinking of soma, or whether it is performing the sacrificial acts. So here again Sri Krishna is bringing out kind of a unity among the three yogas of jnana, rajasa and raja yoga and the karma yoga. He is bringing in this unity that with all these three things, these seekers of heavenly pleasures, they go to those abodes, those celestial planes, those celestial heavens, those surendra-lokam, the plane of the Lord of the gods, and then they enjoy the divine enjoyments, divyān divi deva-bhogān, that they start enjoying in heaven the celestial pleasures of the devas, of the gods, what they enjoy. So this is what Sri Krishna has once again mentioned. What is mentioned here is the foremost among the heavenly enjoyments to which the three Vedas, the Rig, Sama and Yajur, they show the path. Now, Indra is Surendra. Sura is a god. Indra is a king. The king of gods, the lord of gods. Indra is the title of the lord of the Devas. The chief among the Devas, who is in this celestial abode, he is the Surendra. So that in his abode, these seekers of enjoyment, they start enjoying the divine pleasures. They start enjoying the divine pleasures which are normally to be enjoyed only by the gods. So they reach a state of that semi-god, demigod, and for long time in that celestial heaven, they start enjoying the celestial pleasures. So that was about the 20th shloka. Sri Krishna told us about what happens with the seekers of celestial pleasures. So Sri Krishna, that also happens. But again, Sri Krishna says, in the next shloka that we are going to read, Sri Krishna gives a word of caution. He is going to tell us that what happens to these seekers ultimately, those who have the intention of seeking divine pleasures, divine enjoyments in that land of gods. What happens to them? So that we will see in our next reading. As of now, let us just understand this simple thing that Sri Krishna says, that all those people who wish to enjoy the celestial pleasures through the study of Vedas, or through the drinking of soma-rasa, or through performing various sacrificial acts, through these modes of jnana, raja and karma, through these three yogas, they can reach the celestial abodes. They can reach the celestial planes and start enjoying all those divine pleasures which are only enjoyed, which are only allotted for gods to enjoy. So that is very much possible. So with that, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna, Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swami.